Many children are back in school this fall, some in person for the first time since early 2020. This brings relief to many parents, but others are still struggling with what to do with their younger children. Faced with the rising cost of childcare, which increased by almost about 50% over the last year and a half as the pandemic hit the childcare industry hard. For more on this, I want to bring in CBS MoneyWatch reporter Megan Cerullo. Megan, welcome. Great to have you with us. So, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen recently addressed the child care crisis. Let's listen to what she said about it.
For the vast majority of Americans, the child care industry works in precisely the opposite way it worked for us, which is to say it doesn't work at all. Those who provide child care aren't paid well, and many who need it can't afford it.
Megan, as you know, women have been in the workforce for decades. So why is child care still so out of reach for so many families? Why are we still at this point where it's so difficult to get affordable child care?
That's precisely the predicament many women in particular are facing, is if they don't have childcare, they can't go back to work. During the pandemic, a lot of childcare facilities closed because we needed to practice social distancing. Not all of them have reopened. And so they're operating at reduced capacity as well because they're severely understaffed. And they're now facing this spike in demand as more parents return to work, return to the physical workplace, and they simply can't accommodate everyone who needs childcare. It's an issue of supply and demand.
And Megan, even families who can afford childcare say it's just hard to find a spot in a good center because so many centers are at capacity, as you said, the supply and demand issue. What needs to be done to rectify this? And are these bills that are inching their way through Congress right now, especially I'm thinking of that social spending bill, are there provisions in that to deal with this?
That's right. A lot of these centers are at capacity, and the daycare industry already operates on razor-thin margins of less than 1%. Part of the issue is the supply of educators, of early education workers. And that's because they are mostly women and minority women who are underpaid. And so they're quitting. They're leaving the industry. And these centers, if they want to retain their workforces, they have to increase their wages and in turn pass some of those costs on to parents, putting childcare out of reach for them. I talked to one woman whose predicament is all too common for American families, who said that childcare in her state of Alabama would cost her more each month than she spends on rent.
And so what is being done to address this? Do you know whether that big social spending package that House Democrats are currently haggling over right now has provisions to make childcare more affordable for American families?
So the industry is severely underfunded, and the Biden administration has a plan that would help professionalize it to some degree. So it would provide professional development opportunities for early education workers, which would incentivize them to stay in the industry. Daycare educators, they make like $11 or $12 an hour. 15% of daycare workers in 41 states earn poverty wages, and this plan would bump up pay to $15 an hour. The other important thing that it would do is it would reduce costs to families by about half, so that they're not spending more than 7% of their income on daycare, which would make it affordable.
Right. It's interesting because it seems like a vicious cycle here, right? The economy improves, the more Americans that are in the economy, so that includes women, but women can't go back to work if childcare remains too expensive. Childcare workers don't want to work because they're not making enough money, so then the childcare centers need to charge more. It's like this vicious cycle that almost seems like it does need government intervention because the cost of childcare is so high, and yet it's still not high enough that it's able to attract and retain enough healthcare workers. So there's a point there where it's not matching up.
That's exactly right. These daycare center operators would like to be able to pay their workers more, but again, wages are a large portion of their costs. They'd have to pass some of those on to parents, and then they wouldn't be able to serve those families that they aim to serve. So it's really an industry that needs some investment from the federal government to make it tenable.
And what is the current status of many of these child care workers? As we know, many were furloughed at the beginning of the pandemic, and as the economy has reopened and there is a demand for more of them, we're still seeing such a shortage. Is that directly tied to low wages?
It is. Many of them can't make ends meet. They're employed, but they're still relying on public assistance. And so they're seeking work elsewhere. They're turning to the retail industry where they can make the same or more in positions that are less taxing, less physically and emotionally draining for them. They're even going to work for places like Amazon. And a lot of these workers say that they're actually passionate about early childhood education, but they just can't take care of their own families. And daycare center operators don't blame them. They're also entering into working in public school systems where they can earn higher wages and benefits. And so the industry is sometimes seen as a stepping stone. And as these daycare workers gain more education experience, they leave.
Right. And Megan, as we know, women have been disproportionately hurt by this pandemic. The child care crisis, just continues to impact this. Luckily, schools are open now, so a lot of women have older children who are in school. But when do you think the rest of those women who had to leave their jobs because of the pandemic and because of the lack of child care, when do you think they will enter the workforce? Is there a danger that some of them may be permanently locked out?
It's dangerous. It is. 1.6 million mothers with children under the age of 17 are still missing from the workforce. And that's in large part because they don't have access to affordable childcare. And the longer they're out of work, their skills will erode, and it'll become increasingly hard for them to re-enter the workplace, therefore eroding a lot of the progress that has been made by women in the workplace over the past 10 years. And that's why childcare is such an important pillar of the economy, because it really will allow parents to go back to work.
Absolutely. That's such an important piece to emphasize, that this isn't just about women. This is about the economy overall, that this is about getting the entire motor of the economy back up and running. Megan Cerullo, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate your insight.
That's right. Thanks, Tanya.